Hello, hello! I am Joe the Science Bro, and this is Timberborn. What is this? You can update dam decorations. You can now build viaducts for trains and such. That's interesting. That's really cool. I cannot wait to see what that looks like. That is going to be fantastic, Jed. Obviously, we're doing Timberborn today. Or should I say tonight? Tomorrow we are hanging out with Dr. Balin again. Around 4:15, 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. Depends on how long it takes me to get equipment set up. But anyway, hope you're all doing well. Sorry, I decided to take the day off yesterday and spend basically the entire weekend with Rem, which was actually kind of nice. Anyway, how's everybody doing? How you doing, Jed? Let's see. All right. It should be this one, I think. Hard to tell. Anyway, while that's loading up, if you are new here to the stream, please say hi to me in the chat. I love talking with you guys. Love getting to know you all. Currently, the chat is right below me. Soon it will be right over there. If you're watching this on YouTube, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, as it does help us grow. Also, another thing on YouTube, we just uploaded the last interview with Dr. Balin. So if you want to catch up on that, that would be awesome. Hey, Mighty! It is the Mighty Irish Gamer, everybody. How are you doing, my friend? It's good to see you. How have things been? Okay. Good. Glad to hear it. Let's see. Is this the one? Nope. This is a different one. This is one that I was doing on my own. So then it's this one. All right. Oh, I'm glad you're doing well. Forgive my voice. It's obviously just as tired as I am. Jed, did you see that the next update for Planet Crafter isn't going to be until the end of February? Okay, now this isn't one. Oh, man. It's got to be this guy. You know, trying to find the game that I'm playing is difficult always. I know. Hey man, at least I wasn't, you know, like blowing a bunch of stuff up. I tend to keep the map relatively intact. Relative. Although I'm jealous of other people's playstyles. I think it was Vid. Was it Vid who was doing the small map challenge? This it? Yeah, this is it. Yeah, because I'm using this to make food. And eventually I'll use it for that. You're back? Oh yeah, Christmas was good. Enjoyed myself. Had a nice, good old time. Oh, that's right. I'm trying to rebuild everything. Oops, sorry. Sorry, Jed. Sorry. Sorry. You're right. Right. You know, maybe I'll do something like a no pause challenge. Alright, we're doing much better on food, which is good. Okay. This is all carrots, which is fine. Right. Right. Did it work? If it doesn't work, I'm just gonna get rid of the damn thing. Ugh. That's so annoying. God. Deactivate. Okay. Now, take care of that. Don't worry, I got a couple of things in the wings that I want to test out. Stream avatars and stream stickers. So we'll see how that works. That might give us some fun. Ah! I swear, he loves doing that. Oh, I didn't realize that I'm running out of people. What on bots? Bots, I only have 16. Oh, yeah. Now that one's easy. I know. Hey, Aero Warrior! Good to see you, buddy. Oh, wow. Apparently a hype train is close. Whatever that means. I've never seen a hype train. Does anyone know what that means? Alright. What's a good science fact for today? No, I've never hype trained before. Dude, I'm small school, man. Besides, I don't make anybody tip or do anything like that, so I don't mind. Why, is that something that is that a big deal? Yes. Yeah, finished raft. That should be up on the that should be up on past broadcasts. And eventually it'll be up on the YouTube. I have to get myself an editor one of these days so that I can, you know, actually make it so that things will get taken care of. Ah, yes. So, science fact of the day. Sorry, Aero Warrior, I completely forgot. Um, let's see. Well, I mean, perceptions of color is a thing. So, it turns out that color is actually the opposite of what we actually see it. So we see the inverted, or you can call it the positive to the negative if you want, or we see the negative to what is actually the positive, because color is the is what is not absorbed by color. Okay, so here's the weird way that it is. We perceive the color by what is absorbed by the light. So take all right, this cup is red. This cup is only red because the red wavelength is absorbed by it. That's all. Yes, so it's a weird little trick. You're always seeing upside down. It's just we've taught ourselves to learn how to do things. So you always see inverted, yeah. So yes. Alright, let's get some blanks. Yes, that's part of the reason. Another reason is because a lot of old cameras are based on uh, single lens reflex, or SLR style, where you actually have an image that comes through a condenser, and when it goes through the condenser, the light points actually change. A wedding ring? A chest of what? What about my wedding ring? Hold up my wedding ring as a test. Okay. But don't you mean the red wavelength, the only color that's reflected? You know what? You might be right. I might actually have that backwards. It's entirely possible. Look, it's been a while since I've done anything with the eye. I can tell you more about pictures being inverted, because I actually studied that a little bit. Okay, some videos we see that would show up as your right hand because your picture's inverted. So this is my left hand. Yeah. But yeah, Mighty, I think you're, if memory serves, yeah, you might actually be right that it's. We double check. Sometimes even I have to double check. Like, uh-oh. Here's a wild one he's reading about. Everyone take cover. Get to the pod, everyone. There are people who can see into the ultraviolet. So, yes and no. It's... How can I put this? In a good way. Oh yeah. I forgot I was running in. So, if I remember correctly, it's not really seeing into the ultraviolet spectrum. It's kind of like you are, but you aren't. And I know that that's annoying as hell, but it's kind of like your brain is being tricked into kind of thinking that it's seeing into the ultraviolet spectrum, if I remember correctly. And parrots out. As well. So it's kind of like they can see somewhat out there. So you studied light because of the connection to the brain. Yeah. So, there's this thing called the optic chiasm, which is where the images kind of get flipped. So the receptor that measures your left is actually on the right side towards the back, because frontal, parietal, occipital, and then temporal lobes. And the occipital has to deal with some of your vision section. And I used to teach that to students: frontal, parietal, occipital, temporal. And I'd see them actually doing it during exams. It was actually kind of reassuring that I was teaching them something that they could actually utilize. I must say that, you know, there is no better feeling than when you're a instructor and you see students actually utilizing something that you taught them. That is really rewarding. It's really nice. I love helping out students. It's something I've always kind of enjoyed. So this is going to be my big boy. Okay, after my rafting accident, I had some vision problems because I hit the back of my skull. Yep. Yeah, okay, so, that might... You probably hit both your occipital. This is why when people fall backwards, they tend to see stars. It's because you're resetting your occipital. If I could make mods, to be honest, I'd probably go way too deep and just start making a whole game. This is... So... Yep. I don't know when that was, but they try not to use pins as much anymore because sometimes the pins can cause some damage as time goes on. But again, we're kind of getting into the nuances of some very specific things that I kind of almost don't ever go into. Let's get a breeding pod going here for these guys. And let's get... Yes. Oh, no, that won't. Okay. Or you should do the Timberborn Discord. You can talk to the modders and see what's going on. I do. Yeah. If I could make mods, I would probably want to make my own 3D modeling items to add to games. Cool. Was way back in 1975. Okay, yeah, that kind of tracks with the way that things were going around that time period. Not to say that there was anything wrong with it. It's just, you know, around that time period, that's kind of what they were focusing on, was doing pins. Pins are great in terms of how you want to actually do things. Yes. Cervical, they would absolutely want to fuse it. less of a chance of further damage to the spinal column. Let's see, how far can I stretch this guy? All right. Okay, I'm not going to be able to use the efficient mine on this for right now. I gotta get the wider mod. Oh, you know what? I never looked in there. That's really cool. You see that? There's like little veins and whatnot. I like that. That's really cool. Ha! Veins. Okay. And get some simplistic warehouses right here. I am a biologist. Okay, on this map, dang, greasy, flooded the entire lower level, but he moved the town center first. Oh, I see. Just gonna mix this real quick. Alright, medicine's going up, which is good. Did I find the bottom? I think I found the bottom. So I am a biologist. Specifically, my expertise is in genetics, specifically with inheritance. I focused on a type of science called phylogenetics, which is basically the looking at and mapping how genes have evolved over time. If you've ever seen a what is termed as a genetic tree, that I did. I used to make those in graduate school for fun. I'm weird. And now, you know, I play video games on Twitch, and I also am currently doing research in Alzheimer's, which is a lot of fun, I have to say. Because it's a different kind of how can I put it? It's a different kind of story, as one tends to say in the scientific world. And it's a story that I think is worth telling and is actually quite interesting to tell. Oh, you were watching Hannibal Rising? Probably make a series of magic mods for a few games like Valheim and Minecraft. Make more grounded and ritualistic. That's cool. Did you ever get to play the Astral Sorcery mod in Minecraft? I like that one. I think that one's a lot of fun. It requires... The only problem with the Astral Sorcery in Minecraft is that it requires a lot of wiki searching, because they didn't make it really well... how can I put it? They didn't make it nicely. Yeah. They made it confusing, and I almost wonder if they did that on purpose. It is a great mod, but unfortunately, like I said, it can be confusing for people, like myself. Alright, so... yeah, if I do this... here... and... oh, oops. Here... I'm a huge fan of Thamocraft. That's good. That's a good battle. You're helping fight Alzheimer's. It's a terrible common disease. Correct. You know, there's more that I want to tell you guys about things, but certain projects are kind of close to the chest, if you will, and I don't really have good standing to speak on them, if you know what I mean. It's hard to explain exactly, but basically it's kind of like I can't talk about them because we want to protect ourselves from getting, it's called scooping, which is basically where someone kind of comes in and takes your work before you've even gotten the chance to like do anything with it. And we kind of try our best to insulate ourselves from it. Sometimes you just can't do it. No, not from ethics inquiries. From other people that are trying to just get to the finish line before you, unfortunately. Science, no one wants to be the person that was known for discovering something second. Everybody wants to be first to the finish line. No one wants to... No one's really interested in... Yeah, no problem. It's alright. Oh, that was weird. Yeah, unfortunately, that's just... Yeah, it's not so much just how capitalism is, but it's like... Yeah. It's an unfortunate thing because, you know, scientists as a whole, we try and be as kind to each other as we possibly can be. We want to help each other. We want to make it so that we can all kind of, you know, grow together. Just for something. Because I got a lot of carrots. You know, you don't want to force anything through because you just don't want to be that person, but only the first person to publish, sort of, not always. So to give you an example, you know, Dr. Balin mentioned this last week when we were doing the interview. He was one of the first people to publish that chlamydia pneumoniae is not only found in Alzheimer's patients, but is related to Alzheimer's. And unfortunately, no one really took it seriously until Harvard published the paper. And you might be saying to yourself, well, that seems kind of stupid. And I'll give you 3 guesses as to which group got the credit, and the first 2 don't count. Yeah, Harvard got the credit. But that's the thing. Anything that a group like Harvard does, they get credit because they're a very popular, very... yeah, it is kind of discrimination in a way. No, it's because they're famous. That's what it is. It's because they're famous and we're not. I wish it was... my chemistry teacher in school taught me how science is a collection of a lot of people's efforts combined, not just a select few that you hear about. Correct. But unfortunately, it's those select few that do get the glory. That's the sad part about it. I wish, you know, I wish certain things were different for people. But it's an unfortunate thing that scientists have to kind of almost infight amongst each other to see who's going to get the most kind of credit when push comes to shove. And it's sad, but at the same time, it's kind of, you know, a necessary problem. If you publish an article and a big school did the same thing, exactly, we would not get the recognition for it. Even if, let's say, ours had what is termed as a novel or brand new approach to the idea, you're absolutely right, Jed. We wouldn't have gotten the credit for it. And, you know, again, it has almost nothing to do with us not being, you know, the right people for the job or having done better research. It's just there are certain schools that have a high perception of what they do, and there are others that don't. And, you know, quite frankly, the college that I work for is not known for its research. It's known for it's a medical school. That's all. It's known for that. And, you know, yes, you could say that it's kind of stupid to look at only one group as being the most important, and you might be right there. Okay, when you think robotics, who comes to mind? I mean, it's going to be Boston Dynamics. Easy. Boston Dynamics. But, you know, I know that they're not the only ones because I also read the articles. I know that there are a couple of people that are currently, yep, DARPA. DARPA's not doing as much in terms of robotics as they used to. It's not as lucrative. MIT is doing it, yeah. Well, if I'm not mistaken, Boston Dynamics is an offshoot of MIT, if I remember correctly. I forget if MIT is Michigan or Massachusetts. I think it's Michigan, but I might be wrong. But, you know, another thing that Harvard does is they kind of, yeah. And again, you know, don't take me the wrong way. I'm not trying to put down any, you know, group or anything like that. What I'm griping about is it's kind of like there are a bunch of people that are the unsung heroes of research, and they kind of, yeah, opinions get patented. Yeah, well, opinions can be patented. It depends on how you do it. And I know that sounds really stupid. I saw it in a movie, lol, I think MIT might be in Boston. I forget. Where is MIT? Massachusetts! They are in Cambridge, Massachusetts, specifically. Yeah. And I mean, you know, I know a couple of the guys up there. You know, I got to meet a couple of them when I was doing some work on genetics at one point. They're good people. They are good people there. There's a lot of really nice guys there, but even they know, they're like, listen, we're almost quantity over quality at a certain point. It really depends on who you're talking to. Some of those guys are really nice, and some of them are very elitist. Our Michigan, our MIT isn't nearly as cool. Eru, I wish I could give you like confetti on screen for that, because that was perfect. I love that. That really gave me a good laugh. But I mean, that's kind of the sad part about research is that a few get credit when a bunch do the work. You know, even all of the people involved in the research aren't always able to get the credit. And that's not to say that not to bring up a sore subject, but COVID research is the same way. There are so many opinions that care. Yeah. It is true. You know, we were talking about this, Jed, if you remember, I think it was New Year's Eve. There's so much data out there that's changing almost daily that it becomes near impossible to decide who's right, who's wrong, who's got the, you know, the correct information, and, you know, who's the foolish person sticking to some conspiracy theory. And another problem is that it's changing so frequently that it's almost getting difficult to keep up. You know, another problem with the organism is that it has the ability to create variants of itself so fast, which normally, in terms of a genetic sense, would mean that it would become weaker as an organism rather than stronger like we've seen it. So it's really, really weird. You know, I'd love to tell again. You know, we had the conversation on New Year's Eve, and I think I said I would love to tell you that everything is going well and that we know that everything is going to be just fine and dandy. But we actually don't have that much of an idea as to how we should do things in a way that kind of make things work really well. Does that make sense? Am I making any sense? I can't tell. I think I'm just rambling. I might just be rambling. Took off. Yeah. Yep. Thank you. I'm glad I'm making some sense. That does kind of give me some reassurance. Okay, let's build this guy. He needs 200 horsepower, so we need to build engine for him. Thank you. I'm glad somebody does, because sometimes I can't even tell what I'm saying. So for the actual bona fide biologist in the room, do you think alien life would be more similar or dissimilar from us? That really depends. I know that that's not what you want to hear, but so if you think of the movie Evolution, all right? If you think of the movie Evolution, in that movie, one of the things that is discussed in that film is the concept of what I'm tracking for the most part. That's fine. You have to think about what is actually being what the organism is based on. So if they're a carbon-based life form like we are here, then they would be extremely similar to us and would probably have a similar, if not exact, same makeup as us, and their bodies would be pretty similar to what we are currently. That being said, there's also the possibility that they're not like us. And with that comes the question of, if they're not like us, then what are they like? Well, that's another hard part of the question to ask. So, give me 1 second. Let's hope my brain works for a few moments. Just a few moments. That's all I need. Have you read Project Hail Mary? I have not read Project Hail Mary. Would you be kind enough to describe it to me? This, and I will put this here. This, and then I shall put Robotic Farmhouse here. This here. I will fill this with Spatter Duck. And then I shall put Water Dump here. And stairs here. And here. Okay. Tablets and Planet Crafter told us. I did not. Same author as The Martian. Guy gets shot out into space to save the world from space plankton. Interesting. Actually, the funny thing is that The Martian gets a lot right in terms of what would happen if you had to survive and you were a botanist. Some things, like if you want to talk about peak science fiction, like absolutely beautiful science fiction that almost has no problems to it whatsoever, it is absolutely that movie. That movie's great. I love that movie. Laws bring people to focus. Okay. I shall expand here and here. I had a spectacular professor who I looked up to, and his work seemed revolutionary, but he didn't seem to get much, if any, recognition from the school at the time. Is non-carbon-based life even possible? That's hard to say. That is really hard to say. I mean, I could say yes, but I would be speculating. Look, we find life in really odd ways every single day of the year. One of the biggest things that I always found very interesting was, as a young researcher, one of the things that really got me was just how pause. No wonder my berries are disappearing. One of the things that changed my life and changed the lives of many, many researchers over the years was the discovery of a organism called Thermus aquaticus. This is I believe it's a phytoplankton, if I remember correctly, which basically means that it's a form of plankton that gets its food from the sun. It performs a lot of photosynthesis, which, by the way, the majority of the oxygen in the world actually comes from the ocean, and not so much trees, but trees help a lot in filtering. Anyway, there's a scene in there where he's talking with an alien about why do we hear at the same frequencies, and theorizes that hearing objects collide and scrape dictate what we develop to hear, and that gravity dictates the speed at which we think. In a way, it's not so much the speed at which you think, it's the speed at which you understand and perceive. Those are going to kind of be like the gold standards of thought. This is probably going to shoot the number of berries that I have through the roof right now, but I kind of need the berries to survive. Anyway, so like I was saying, in terms of Thermus aquaticus is an organism that we originally theorized couldn't survive, and I know that sounds really weird. Yeah, Thermus aquaticus. So the reason why an organism like Thermus aquaticus is so interesting is because it opens up so many different avenues for what is involved in terms of life. And Thermus aquaticus survives in thermal vents in the ocean, in the deep ocean, I might add. And the reason why that's important is because, by all accounts, it should not live. There's a certain temperature and pressure that life just kind of can't survive at. And Thermus aquaticus really pushes the limits of that theorem, that idea. So So at least in terms of how organisms are able to um, take care of things for us, and how organisms can uh, help out with what we need. You know, I'm just going to send all 10 over there. They'll be able to. Yeah, I've only got 8 now. Still have beds? No, I'm out of beds. Okay. So I'm going to build more houses. So, this organism revolutionized science because it made it so that we could do something called the polymerase chain reaction. The polymerase chain reaction is so important because without it, we cannot, and I can't stress this enough, we cannot do any DNA or genetic work that we do today. Everything requires PCR. Everything that we do in terms of genetics requires PCR today. There's just so much that we do with it. It's one of those things that it's just like, nope, you can't not have PCR. You will always have PCR in science these days. So, anyway, so what Thermus aquaticus has is it has a PCR polymerase chain reaction. Buck wild, all because of some weird ocean bugs. Pretty much. So again, PCR polymerase chain reaction, and what that allows is for the binding and unbinding of a molecule called DNA polymerase, which is actually the molecule that takes your individual molecules for DNA building and copying, and basically makes it so that you can make copies. And without that one thing from Thermus aquaticus, and we call it Taq polymerase because Taq stands for Thermus aquaticus. Without Taq polymerase, we would not be able to do any of the gene work that we do today. And I stress that, any of the gene work. We would quite literally be, we would not be anywhere near where we are today. At all. It's actually quite interesting when you really think about it, because without that little bug, without that little phytoplankton, wouldn't be anywhere close to where we are today. Not at all. All the DNA work that we've gotten accomplished, the entire genome project, all of that is because of Thermus aquaticus. No. It probably is an organism that just was safer in a thermal vent, and over many years, just due to it being safer there than anywhere else, just, you know, had an easier time with evolving, and it was able to evolve itself to survive better. Antarctica research from under the ice and yeah. Well, we're able to do things differently now than we used to. You know, we're able to take cores and core samples a little bit more safely, because that was one of the things when it came to Antarctica. We were always afraid, and again, whenever I say we, I'm referring to the wider scientific community as a whole. There was always a fear that if we did too many core drillings, we would basically, you know, harm ourselves in the long run. And that was always a fear. I still remember professors of mine saying, you know, oh, these idiots in Antarctica are at it again. You know, they're they're trying to, you know, um, they're trying to make it so that the world basically is going to have to deal with some kind of new horror that we never thought was possible, all because they felt like it would be the best thing for science. Now, I know some of the people. I think. Let me see. One of my old classmates just got back. Can't remember. That's how you wake the old guy. It's kinda. But so it's not an easy thing to say one way or the other definitively who's, you know, correct in their assumptions and who isn't. That is a very hard thing to figure out fully, because it could be any number of things that is correct one way or the other. The ice age covered it up and put it to sleep, and here we go, waking it up again. Well, there was some fear about, because I believe they found a fully intact woolly mammoth at one point, but anyone who works with DNA will tell you you've got maybe probably like a 10-year period at sub-freezing temperatures to properly, you know, thaw something out. Before it just becomes unusable. So there's going to be a lot of fragmented pieces and portions of it. So this is why, if you think back to Jurassic Park, when they're talking about they found a mammoth here, yeah, in an old tar pit. You're right. And there was questions about if we, but actually more like we find an extinct super. Right, and that was one of the questions that a lot of the genetic guys like myself asked, which is, are you guys sure that you're not going to accidentally, you know, grab an organism that is able to super hibernate and cause a major problem? And I mean, you know, this is where a lot of the hard questions kind of get asked, and that's, hey, are we doing the right thing here by activating this thing, or are we causing more problems than, you know, it's worth? These are not easy questions to answer, and that's, you know, that's kind of the point here. Where do we draw the line? Exactly. You know, oh god, what's his name? I forget the name of the character, but Rem, your favorite character from Jurassic Park, you know. Yes, thank you. Jeff Goldblum has this great line in Jurassic Park, and that's, you spent so much time wondering if you could do something, you guys forgot to ask the question of if you should do something. And that is an absolute truth that a lot of really good scientists are that we generally think about regularly, because we're scared. Eugenics is not a good thing, but there are certain aspects to eugenics that you couldn't live your life without. Yes, they're worried about bringing back samples from Mars for that reason. That is true, because we just don't know what's there. Correct. That is one of the reasons why the moon rocks are currently being held in a containment that is similar to what you would find on the moon. Take the blobfish, for example. You know, the blobfish, I forget what its actual organismal name is, so forgive me. Yes, some moon rocks that came back did go missing. That is true. Hey, maybe that's how coronavirus got out. Sorry, it was a bad joke. Hey, Ken! Good to see you, buddy. Actually, here, let me give Ken a shout out. Ken's doing Space Engineers. 3, 4, 0. Bam. There you go, Ken. Yes, so the original coronavirus was discovered back then, and you know, so it is a virus that is basically a weak pathogen. It does cause some severe acute respiratory syndromes, which is why it's called SARS-CoV-2 or SARS-CoV or coronavirus. But you know, it just causes a cold, basically. Yeah. Regolith can be freaky dangerous and so right. And again, you know, where like Jed said, where do you draw the line? And that is a question that is always asked. Yes, SARS is nasty. SARS is a family. And that stands for severe acute respiratory syndrome. And that's why we refer to them as SARS and then dash with a specific organism, because it's the organism that causes the syndrome. Oh. Sorry, guys. I didn't realize that you were that bored. Jeez. To find out this, cyanobacteria is the first bacteria to ever... Well, that's the theory. That's the theorem. We believe that cyanobacteria is the first. And that's because we used to call something archaeobacteria because we believed that it was the ancestor of all other bacteria. But in actuality, we really don't know what the true ancestor of bacteria is. And I know that that sounds like a cop-out, but it's not. I swear it's not a cop-out. This out. I will build a jack here and forester here. Then I look. You leave Thermus aquaticus out of this, man. Without that little buddy, Thermus aquaticus, you would have a lot less. Thermus aquaticus is a great organism. Love that guy. That's okay. You're fine. You're safe. So now that we've activated your work brain on your time off, exactly. Exactly. You know, I don't have to go back into work until 8 o'clock in the morning. Played any tabletop role-playing games recently? Well, no, I have not. I have heard about the recent news with Wizards of the Coast, and that's really ticking me off, though. Wizards really needs to learn when to shut their mouth, but then again, they've never learned when to shut their mouth, which is kind of sad when you think about it. Any good stories from that? Actually, I don't know if I have any good stories about that. Yeah, all this is Rem and I, we were talking about this all day yesterday, pretty much. Yeah, no problem, Jed. Rem and I, we were talking about this all Space Engineers yet. No, I have not played Space Engineers yet. Ken does. Ken does. He does Space Engineers. I know. It's a little too involved for me, man. I play video games to turn my brain off. Not throw it into overdrive. Which is what that game would do to me. I know, but that's okay. So, says the guy building an intricate beaver army. Alright, fair. Fair. You win this round. You bully me. It's highly involved. People say it's a commitment. Ugh. That is not what I'm looking for. It might be. I think it is, actually. Could get it sometime. I like the sound of it. Let me see if it's available on Humble, because I just got a Humble affiliate program. So let me double check here. So you might actually be able to get it while, you know, helping the channel. Space. So if you're looking to get Space Engineers, there you go. What Humble Bundle allows you to do is it allows you to buy games, and some of your purchase goes to charities. And that particular one, yes, I get a kickback, that is the truth, but it'll help support us here. I'm not a gamer really, so I'm not obsessed with playing games, but I have like 350 hours in it. That's fair. Look, there's nothing wrong with not being a gamer. I've got 76 hours in this game. I think Jed's got me beat, though. Oh, no problem, Mighty. KSP is physics-based. Space Engineers is more about just building. Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, that's cool. I tend to... So, Mighty, I tend to bounce back and forth on Humble and Steam, because a lot of times Humble Bundle will have a few games bundled together at a discount that you don't get on Steam, and you can sometimes get a nice little like, it's almost like cash back in a way, if I remember correctly. Let's put a campfire. Sadly, I've become that guy whose favorite PRG is long out of print and nobody's heard of it. PRG. You mean an RPG? What game is that? Yeah. Doing on food here. I mean, we've got a lot of options. 75 potatoes. Got 30 people. I wish it would let you do partial. Alright, so that's taken care of. I have everything unlocked. Very close. Cortex. They did the Firefly RPG and the Battlestar RPG. Said it's out of print. Ugh. Steam Awards. So disappointed in them. That's a puzzle game. Frick the silence. We have a piece of equipment at work. It's a mesoscale device, and it's got a vertical LED, and it just reminds me of the Cylon Eye every time I see it. Or rather, the Serenity RPG, because Firefly wasn't licensed yet or something. Yeah. And of course, I'm running low on stuff. Let's pause. Because I'm just not generating enough. Yeah. Let's see if I can ship out the metal scrap. But I really love the system for sci-fi and modern games because it makes combat scary and fast. None of this stand here and beat on each other. That happens. Yeah. Yeah, it's you know, that's one of the reasons why I fell in love with Warhammer, is that, you know, the combat is very kinetic. Yeah. Let's just dance something around. Ew. Okay, so that did do what I wanted it to do. Polytheism? What? I love how the misplaced Battlestar, like, what? Yeah. Yes, polytheism. You know what? I never actually finished the show either. The original show. Alright, let's hurry some things up. Mostly because I'm just impatient as hell. Binge the heck out of SG-1. You know what? I never watched Stargate's TV show. Galactica 1980 was interesting. It's true. Galactica 1980 was interesting. It was a part of that era of what? No, oh god. Ram, I'm getting yelled at for not having watched Stargate SG-1.
Stargate is fantastic. Christopher Judge.
I know Christopher Judge. I know Teal. Yes, I know.
Best character.
Jed says SG-1 sucks.
I grew up with it.
I know you did. Hey, Warrior says thank you. Jed says hi. See, I'm just helping this along just because right now my supply chain sucks. Only like the first runs of Star Trek 2, so, well, fair enough. This is your first night at Fight Club, you have to fight. Hey, whoa, we don't talk about Fight Club. It's the first rule. It's the second rule, too. Isn't it the third rule, too?
What?
That you don't talk about Fight Club? Oh, yeah. Very good, very good. Nobody is seeing what I'm doing right now. Everyone's just kind of watching. Oh, there's 8 rules? Okay. Okay, have I unlocked everything? Not yet. Watching ad for my wanted car. You don't talk about Fight Club, you don't talk about Fight Club. When someone says stop, taps out. Right. Okay. First rule of Street Countdown is you really must tell everyone about it. It's quite fun. I have no idea what that means, but alright. What is your wanted car, Jed? Vengeance. Rolls-Royce Wraith. Interesting. I'm gonna have to take a look at that one. Hold on. Wait, why did I just do it? Rolls-Royce Wraith. Alright, let's see what we got here. Ooh, Phantom. Yeah, I gotta give you that one. That's not a bad looking car. Oh, it's a coupe. Not bad. Or the Phantom. I can't blame you for the Phantom. I always thought that the Phantom looked good. Would you prefer the drop head or just the regular Phantom? Like my father, I am a big fan of hardtop convertibles, so. Silver Ghost. Fair. Fair. Can't blame you. Not at all. Alright, let's get some gears going. So, Joe, what are you mainly doing, focusing on in the game? Talking. Thanks, Jed. Love you too. At the moment, main focus is on just getting everything kind of moving for these guys, because I want to get the efficient mines running for both of these outer sections. So I might be able to get this one going soon. Possible? It's hard to tell. This game. Thanks. Of course there's a game, otherwise Jed wouldn't be here. Yeah, we're running out of food. This isn't good. A lot more food. The game runs in the background while we have these great conversations. That's true. I like to think of it that way, actually. Let's see. Let's get this farmhouse here. And this will actually help with gathering more food. And I'll mix the carrots for now. One of them. Oh, really? The fact that we just talk and the game is always secondary? I mean, I won't lie, I kind of dig it. Yes, I do. In fact, Rem and I recently got a, oh, God. I hate when my brain just decides to crap out on me mid-sentence. Espresso machine. Woo! I brought my brain back, Rem. Thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah, I enjoy the good conversation, you know. Jed will tell you, if I'm having a bad night on the game, you know, it's always nice having the good conversation. That is one of the parts that I enjoy a lot. Not exactly, but I appreciate your concern. Actually, I probably will suffer tomorrow a little bit because I'm going to be having a pretty deep discussion with a couple of researchers tomorrow on a project that I've been trying my best to make work for a while now. And I'm seriously hoping that it works out, so fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed. Lots of fingers being crossed here. Nice. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely do love the conversations that we end up getting to. I do have a coffee grinder. Yes, I have a conical burr grinder that is a hand grinder. If I have to grind up a significant amount of espresso, I will attach a power drill to it, and I'll use that to grind it faster. I've got lazy in my old age. Or, no, it's not laziness. I have gotten more efficient. I have become more efficient over time. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah, there you go. Power assist. Jed's got the right idea. Oh. Oh yeah, no, that's something that Rem and I have been wanting for a while now, is an electric burr grinder. Thank you. Just gonna power drill, whipstem mix. Yeah. Rem, Jed says use a whisk and a power drill to whip eggs.
I needed to air it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the big
Well, that is true. Rem got a big KitchenAid. You got that thing on sale too, didn't you? Oh no, you got them to give it to you on less money because they had the price improperly listed.
Yeah, so I just bought one.
If you ever need to find something, Rem is your gal, trust me. She finds all of the deals. Building wax workers. Oh. Well, they're working on it. Might actually ship a couple out this way. Honestly, I love coffee, and I could recommend the one I have. We actually have a local coffee roaster that we've been going to for years, and they are fantastic. Graham is also a huge fan of Bones coffee. I forget, did you like the Coheed and Cambria coffee?
I did. That's specifically because I think.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, as a coffee.
That's fine.
Does Rem have a bread maker? No, my friend. Rem is a bread maker. You might want to get in on this conversation because we're starting to involve you more and more as this goes on.
Why?
Because we're talking about you, and you're just kind of.
I bake bread a lot.
I know you baking bread is important. What's that?
My
The wife took your. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like those giant loaves of brioche that I made for Christmas.
That's right, you did. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, the 2 giant braided loaves.
Mm-hmm. That was delicious.
That was delicious.
Rem made this brioche casserole for Christmas.
French toast.
That was French toast, and it was so good, so
Yeah.
good. Cinnamon beef. Oh, cinnamon bread.
I used to make that.
Yes, I think you still do.
So, well, your dad was really big on me making that full of Italian herbs in it.
Well, yeah. Why wouldn't it be?
I know. I still make bread pudding.
Yes. Yes, that is a requirement. All right. It is time to cut more wood. Okay, and just this. Extend this out a little bit. Ugh. There. Okay, and there we are. I don't think I need that many. I think I can get away with like 2. Have you guys not finished this? Okay. I need another habitat. I'm gonna go make coffee. Be back in 5 minutes. Oh, that's no problem. Holy crap! It's 1:42 or 1:24. Oof. You know, one of these days, I'm actually gonna learn how to read, and it will be fantastic. If you're out of energy, then why are you running over here? Go get energy. He's unemployed. How are you unemployed? Okay. Bam. Okay. Whew. Jed, that thread you sent me was actually pretty cool. The one from Timberborn? Yeah. It's nice to see that, you know, modders are getting a lot of recognition for this game. Where's this go? Let me just see. I'll fix this. It's interesting to watch a mod develop and how they help each other. Yeah. No, that is really cool. That is definitely something that I think is just awesome. Kill that for now, because I can use that here. Yeah, I've always been interested in the mod making process, so it's, you know, it's one of those things that it's like, yeah, that's true. Hmm. That's because this is going to get top priority. I have 5 jumps, so I can shift 2. Excellent. He's going to start working on that, which is great. I can probably use this. Some water. I can't wait to see what, you know, mod is next, because trains would be really cool to see. There we go. That's going to take some time. Logs. One is working on a second farmhouse that only has 1 beaver, but it's up against the wall right now. Oh. Up against the wall as in no one wants it, or up against the wall as in it's like up against a wall? Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I've been there. Sometimes programming is a bitch. Difference is it is coding or no code mod. Yeah, that is true. That's true. Sounds like mom's home. Just take out one of these, and I will put a gatherer flag in them as soon as they wake up in the morning. Two beds, so it's got to be over here. Yep. Hey, Mighty, good to see you. How's the coffee? Ah, good. Excellent. Sometimes the coffee is not good. Why not have people? Oh, because people are dying. That's why. That'll do. Okay. Gonna put construction on low. Made with the espresso machine and freshly ground coffee beans, which are only open today. Nice! Nice. Oh, lovely. Favorite type of fiction book? I am a sword and sorcery kind of guy. Although right now, I'm going through Gaunt's Ghosts, which is a Warhammer 40k book series that focuses on the Astra Militarum, which is the Imperial Guard, which is kind of like the everyday man as a soldier. And that's actually kind of interesting right now. Like I said, normally I'm a sword and sorcery kind of guy. What was a book series that I was on? Discworld. I recently got into Discworld too. Love that series. That series was really good. Mostly because I just think Death is a hilarious character. And right now, my computer is struggling to handle my beavers today. I might have to adjust some settings. Not that I have noticed a difference. Right now I'm staring at the speed at which my food source is going down. Send spattered up right to that. We don't need it. So however much spattered up we collect, we just get it. I think it's because I have so many beavers running individually. There's let's see, I have 262 total beavers. Well, adult beavers, 12 children, and 62 bots. You have to think about it's doing individual pathfinding and behaviors for each. So, it just seems like it's a little bit of a struggle for the PC, but it's not really. Yeah. Yeah, that's just not good. Just gonna put this, and I'll put the terrace, terrace. I will put the rooftop terrace right here, and then I will run. There we are. Yeah, and the reason why they kept it to 2 cores is they didn't want to limit the number of people that could play it. So I'm kind of debating on lowering the graphics quality to kind of make it easier for the pathfinding. When I start seeing beavers stuttering in their movements, it's like, okay, we're getting to the limits of the game engine. Let's get a bush going. A couple of bushes. Wow. Just waiting on metal blocks. Yeah. I got close to 1,000 and then my ecosystem just fell apart. There was like no way I could successfully keep the food going with the amount of beavers I had. Good on treated planks. It also doesn't help that each object has like individual movements, and the animations for those movements are also making things difficult. Like the fact that this spins around in the way that it does, and the gears that I have spin, the animations will also put a drag on the ability of the cores to be able to run the game engine as well. Oh boy. Yeah, figure out how much is going on per tick. It is amazing. Really? Well, I mean, yeah, it is pretty fantastic. I can't lie that it is a very interesting factor. Just right here alone, as you can see, because there's so much going on just right here. That's why if you notice, sometimes I'll like move to a certain edge and then it'll start picking right back up again, and that's because I'm limiting the amount of what needs to be on the screen at any one time. Believe it or not, water animations take a toll on game engines. I haven't played Surviving Mars in a while, but I still love that game. I successfully used the last ARC game rule to get a population of just under 11 people to over 200 people with some of the more difficult settings. Good for you, man! That actually sounds pretty awesome. I gotta, like, wrap my head around that one. Jed, you'll be happy to know that on either, well, it depends on what Rem and I plan on doing this week, but either Wednesday or Thursday, I will be devoting some time to Subnautica Below Zero. Yeah, so we'll be having, similar to how I did Raft, I'll be doing Subnautica Below Zero. And then we can have wonderful conversations about, you know, aquatic life. Yet another topic that I'm not great at. After you figure out space engineers, it's the most enjoyable. Oh, really? I will have to give that a closer look. Farmhouse. Add another farmhouse, which will make this just way more efficient. Yeah, it's starting to get slow on the responses to my clicks now. That is true. Building everything by yourself does take forever. Oh, he was moving. I see what he was doing. Make you gears. Wow, that was fast. So 11 people from one rocket have grown to over 200. I imagine the DNA profiling would be quite interesting to start. They are absolutely 100% inbred to all hell and most likely have several hundred genetic defects and disorders. Without a doubt. Yeah, it's an extremely small pool. You need... Oh, man. I think it's in order to get 200 people with a distinct genetic makeup without major issues, you would need something along the lines of, I think it's like, it's not 1/10, I think it's 20%, so 1 out of 20. And then well, so you can actually have more genetic diversity if you have a higher quantity of men. Depends on how fast you want to grow your population. The reason why it depends on how fast you want to grow your population is because it takes one man to impregnate one woman, but one woman can only be pregnant at one time, but you can always influx fresh mates. That is true. That is true. That is true. But if I remember correctly, if you go to 40 plus people for 200, you would need to have each person having at least, I think it's 10 kids. Something like that. So Ken's response to having a diverse gene pool is that they better choose good-looking people, otherwise people are going to get sad. I like it. Good job, Ken. You're gonna get applause for that one, man. That's good. One passenger rocket only for whole game with the last arc game. Wow. Yeah, so that's kind of the sad part about a lot of zombie movies. So if you watch a lot of zombie movies, it always ends up being that there's like 2 or 3 men and like 4 women. And every single time, I'll allow it this time, Ken. But, next time I won't. Yes, that is true. No, it's okay. I just gotta find the thing. Okay. No, it's no big deal. You can always fix things. That's all. But, no, you're right, Ken. Every once in a while, that is true. A woman can get pregnant by two men. And that actually can create some genetic diversity. And this is where, people would have to get very comfortable with a lot of, poor genetic diversity. That is the most PC way I can state it. But basically, the easy way to describe it is that people would have to make peace with the fact that they would have to accept a lot of abnormalities that they don't accept today. Seriously? Again? I'm gonna say. Good. Medicine's up. Bots are being made. Sort of. Don't have a lot of bot chassis, so I can probably put bot limbs on pause. Yeah, bot heads and bot chassis is what I need to focus on at the moment, so. There's a good movie called I Am Mother on Netflix, which goes into interesting areas of genetic diversity. Yeah, okay. I might have to take a look at that when I finally get time, whenever that is. Actually, I should be asking the boss if I have time. Rim, do I have time?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I have time, apparently. It's a post-apocalyptic sci-fi. That's nice. I mean, one of the things that is difficult for a lot of people to understand is, you know, when you get to some of those post-apocalyptic things, I think I was talking about this earlier, you get this situation where you always see like, oh, such and such person survived the apocalypse, but there's only like 4 of them left, and you're just like, oof, the genetic diversity would be terrible. You have granted time, but I don't see you checking. Yeah, exactly, you've been granted time. Hmm. How many beavers do I have injured? Oh. I did not realize that I had that many beavers injured. Okay, I'm going to have to make some medical beds. Have I ever played? Yes, I have played Death Stranding. I didn't play it a lot. It's probably a game that Rem would love. It's a walking simulator, and that can kind of get on my nerves sometimes. But I have watched a game movie of it. There's a channel that I like to watch every once in a while that's called MK Ice and Fire, and he does a lot of game movies where he'll actually edit a lot of the gameplay together to make like a cohesive story, if he can at least. At least I think it's a he. I apologize if I have mischaracterized someone. Ooh. You identify as a fire truck. Huh. Well, must make parties interesting. I don't like doing this, but... Jeez, why is everyone getting hurt? Alright, alright, alright. Send him medicine too. Should probably build some haulers. Oh my god, is that the time? Alright. I think that this is where I'm gonna end it for tonight. This is a good place to end it. Save right there. Who are we gonna raid tonight? Why don't we... so we've got a couple of people. Good night, Ken. Thank you so much, man. We've got Dangerous. We've got ST Hedgehog. Dane. Alright. I'm good for Dane. Hey, no worries. No worries, Mighty. Happy to help. I will be on tomorrow, like I said, at about 4:15, 4:30 US, Eastern Standard. Mighty, if you enjoy a good conversation on science, I'll be sitting down with a colleague of mine who is really good when it comes to science. In fact, he is playing another chat mode map. Yeah, chat made map. I gotcha. All right. So, yes. So, I hope that you'll be able to join us because I know you guys love trying to stump me with as much scientific information as humanly possible. So, I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did. And if you enjoyed the stream, please give us a follow, as it does help the channel grow. If you're already following, please join the Discord so you can interact with me, suggest games for streaming, and find out if I'm having a surprise stream. If you're watching this on YouTube, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. The links are going to be in the description below and on my Twitch homepage. So long, guys. Thanks for all the fish. I'll see you guys later. Night.